Hey guys, so I decided I was gonna try a dopamine detox. Um, the main reason I decided to do this is just because I feel like I haven't had a lot of patience or the ability to kind of concentrate on the goals that I'm trying to reach right now. And I thought that doing a dopamine detox might allow me to refocus on my goals, kind of get rid of the bad habits that I don't necessarily want to have be super prevalent in my life. Um, So I'm about 45 minutes into my detox now. My goal is to go the entire day with only the activities that I'm about to list. So I'm only allowed to exercise, to meditate, to go for walks, to journal, and drink water. So I'm going to be doing basically a fast of food today as well. And I'm going to be honest, so my experience so far, I'm so used to kind of waking up on my phone and diving into that and eating and kind of jumping on Netflix or doing whatever when I have my day off. Um, and it's very weird, the feeling I have right now. It's almost like this anxiety that I'm not on my phone, that I'm not kind of doing that. I don't know if it's my brain's way of telling me, like, hey, this isn't normal, like, what's going on. But it's kind of scary to think that, like, our habits, especially like addicting ones, can be so like ingrained in our brains. So I'm really gonna try to stick this out and do a whole day without any of those activities, and then just kind of refocus my goals and kind of figure out how much of that behavior I actually want to have be in my life and have a little bit more control over that. So I'll keep you guys posted as the day goes on about what I'm feeling and how the experience is going. Hey guys, so I'm just checking in about 2 hours into my dopamine detox at this point. Um, so right now, I've just kind of been sitting here journaling, reflecting, just kind of refocusing on like what I want to do with my life and like just kind of the goals that I've had for a while, but for some reason just don't have the attention span, discipline, or just the motivation to really carry through on. And obviously, a large part of that is just having so much of my energy going towards things that really don't serve me. Um, but right now, I feel like my brain is starting to kind of try to rationalize and get me to look at my phone or to break the fast and just kind of move on with my day. Like it's kind of crazy because that's very similar to kind of like the withdrawal symptoms that people have when they're on drugs or they have an addiction. My brain is literally trying to get me to justify why I should break the fast early, why I should get on with my day and do the activities that I would normally do. And I think that's really crazy. I think the science behind that's really crazy. But I'm going to continue to stick it out, kind of just cleanse myself of desires that aren't conscious. I want to be able to come back tomorrow. I have an additional day off tomorrow and just kind of refocus. Okay, and just be mindful of like my decisions throughout the course of the day instead of kind of following what I think would be like standard for me or just like an automatic thought, kind of going with what I actually want to do and making more conscious and present decisions. So that's my update for now. I'll keep you guys posted. So I decided to go take a walk in the park. Time is about 3:30, so I'm about 6 hours into my dopamine fast. The park was really nice. I feel like I got an opportunity to kind of just enjoy the things that I wouldn't normally pay attention to, just because I'm so bored that anything is really interesting to me at this point. Um, it's very interesting to go a whole day without like pretty much doing anything, but it's a really good experience so far. Definitely I'm missing some of these activities. I'm getting the itch for them, but also I feel like I'm getting some mental clarity here, and I'm just kind of being mindful of my thoughts and being in my space. So that's my update for now. I'll keep you guys posted. Hey guys, so at this point it's been 11 hours since I started my dopamine fast, and I feel like at this point I'm just kind of getting really bored. I don't have anything to do. I have taken like kind of a moment to just journal my thoughts and write down all the things that I feel like were kind of wasting my life. Like I kind of estimated how long I was watching Netflix and how long I was playing video games or how much junk food I was eating, and then trying to like rebalance that. So kind of writing in how much time I would like to spend on those activities, just so I have a more mindful understanding of like how much of my time I want to spend on those activities. So that's been really helpful. Um, but other than that, because now it's starting to get into the nighttime, this is like when I would be eating dinner, and this is when I would kind of be watching Netflix and kind of winding down. But obviously, I just have to be with my thoughts, just kind of like meditate, take little naps, write things down. So it's a whole different experience for me. But overall, it's been a good process, like especially just in the sense of self discipline, frankly, because it's not easy to do. So that's my update for now. I'll keep you guys posted. So I'm just prepping to get over to the gym like I normally would. Um, I'm a little nervous because I feel like it's going to be very different not being able to listen to music while I work out. But we're going to give it a try. I'm still fasted, so that'll be interesting too. Um, we'll kind of see how that goes. So I just got back from the gym. Um, Surprising enough, I thought it would be kind of tough not working out with earbuds, but it turns out that it actually gives you a chance to focus on just what you're doing and being more mindful during the exercise. And I actually found it very therapeutic, so that was kind of cool. We're winding down here. I think it's about 9:30, so 12 hours into the fast, and then obviously tomorrow when I wake up right around 9:30 a.m. is when I'll end the fast. But I'm gonna hop in the shower here and just see what the rest of the night, where the rest of the night takes me. So it's about 10:30, pushing 11 o'clock right now. I'm kind of winding down for the night just because I have to get up kind of early tomorrow. So I just wanted to take a chance to kind of reflect on my experience since tomorrow morning I'll kind of be done with this fast. So I think the main takeaway that I have from doing a 24-hour dopamine detox would just be that sometimes we have different things that are going on in our lives, whether it be like social media, Netflix, video games, junk food, that are just so ingrained in our lives that we don't even realize we're actively partaking in them so much. And my goal when I set out to do this was just to kind of give myself a clean slate, like a restart, to be just more mindful of how those activities are present in my life instead of kind of being a victim of those things or kind of falling prey to those things. Just being able to make the decisions for myself and giving myself an opportunity to introduce better habits in place of those activities. It doesn't mean necessarily that I have to completely eliminate those from my life, but just kind of reducing the amount of time I'm spending on them and just having a conscious realization of myself choosing these things, like choosing to eat unhealthy instead of eating a healthier meal, choosing to watch Netflix for 5 hours at a time instead of, reading a book or going to the gym. And I just want to give myself an opportunity to kind of identify that and to really figure out what my goals are moving forward in terms of how often I'm spending on those activities. Um, I would say this is a really good example of my ability to kind of discipline myself. I think it was a really challenging thing just because your brain's going crazy during this process. Like, it wants to do anything else except for sit there and do nothing. And I think it's a really powerful thing when you can kind of reel yourself back in and take your power back and just say, look, I want to I want to do this for myself. I want to kind of clean the slate and not have such a addicting, you know, mindset where I have to do all these things, where Netflix is pulling me in, or social media. Even just not checking my phone, it was very difficult. I got anxious about who was texting me. What was I missing on social media? What kind of YouTube videos was I missing? Um, and it made me realize that I was just so plugged in that I wasn't really making those decisions for myself every day. Um, so that was a good opportunity to kind of push myself and to really understand what I was capable of in terms of just my mental discipline. And I think moving forward, it's not to say that these activities are bad or harmful. I think it's just about understanding and being aware of how often we're actually partaking in them. Because I think sometimes we're not entirely sure how often we're using them, and how much of an impact it's really having on our lives. Like, I estimate that I probably spent a good 15 to 20 hours on Netflix a week, which in the scheme of things is a lot of time. You know, that's half of a job. I could be developing a business. I could be reading all sorts of books and just developing myself personally. Um, and instead, I'm just kind of mindlessly watching TV, and because I don't really know what else I should be doing. And that's where this dopamine detox came into play. I kind of tried to figure out moving forward what I would like to replace that time with, and just kind of reduce the amount of time I'm doing these things. So those were my main takeaways. I'm super excited, obviously, to see kind of how I'm going to feel introducing those new activities back into my life. Um, and I'm really hoping that, like, introducing activities that would be perceived as like more boring, like eating healthy or reading a book, I hope my brain is kind of tricked into thinking these things are awesome, and being able to kind of implement them into my life a little bit more permanently. So, which was the goal. It was my purpose in doing this. So, fingers crossed on that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, as I'll be posting more content like this in the future.